Good afternoon. This is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. Today is Friday, May 18th, 2007, and the market is closed. So we're going to take a look here first with a monthly chart of the S&P 500. On a monthly time frame right now, this 152.58 closing high is an all-time closing high on a monthly basis. And the market continues to just march forward and run over those bears. It's interesting, you know, back in 2003, 2004, that most people were saying, oh, this is just a bear market bounce. And let's let the market decide what it's going to be, because imposing your opinion and your belief on the market is okay for a little while, but you better have stops in place, because we're all going to be wrong from time to time in our forecast of the market, which is why I think that short-term trading is the superior way to approach this market, because we never know what's going to happen. And it just all depends on how much volatility you're willing to tolerate, which is why I'm a short-term trader. I'm not willing to tolerate much in terms of volatility, although sometimes I look at these huge trends and wish that I had had the fortitude to hold on to them. As long as I'm getting good pieces along the way, I avoid these big drawdowns and continue to grow my capital base. That's what you have to do, is approach it based on your own terms. And kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent, but we had another bullish day for the market today. Obviously, the S&P 500 closed right up near the highs. It seemed like the last couple of days it was trying to break out, but was doing so in a very unconvincing way. It would kind of run up and then get smacked back down, run up, get smacked back down. But today it gapped up. The buyers stayed in control all day long, and the shorts are just getting buried in this market. So it was more convincing in terms of price action, and also the advanced decline, which kind of made me a little bit weary yesterday, was much more positive today. We had 1,800 up to just 1,100 down, so stocks. So today was options expiration day. A lot of times the Monday following options expiration day, the market will go in the opposite direction of the expiration pressure, meaning it wouldn't be a surprise to see a pullback on Monday. But we do have a rising 5-day moving average, so short term, the benefit of the Dow continues to go to the buyers. I think that 151.60, 151.65, 70, that should be the area of support if this market does pull back, if it doesn't continue to just keep going higher, which is what it seems like it wants to do. The Nasdaq 100, the Qs here, they're still in this range of 46 to 47, really is basically 45 and 3/4 to 47. But they did take out that short-term level of resistance that I thought they would need to in order for the buyers to really gain control of the short-term trend, and that was 46.60. So we do have this series of higher highs and higher lows, and we've got the 5-day moving average running higher once again. So now it looks like this little area right here looks like the highs from, I guess that was on Tuesday, look like a little bit of resistance up at 46.70, but very, very short-term resistance. Not much trading there at all, occurred there at all. In order for us to really get ramping higher again in the Nasdaq 100, I think above 47 is where the shorts once again get buried. They get nervous and get run over again, basically. So the market continues to act strong. Short-term support 46.30, I think, for the Nasdaq 100. Let's take a look at the SMH, because the semiconductors have been in this short-term downtrend, and they continue in that short-term downtrend. We still have lower highs and lower lows, but we're starting to see these two moving averages crisscross a little bit more. This longer-term one is starting to flatten out. The longer-term 5-day moving average is still heading lower, so I still think it's a correction within this very powerful uptrend here from the breakout on the weekly time frame that we saw about 5 weeks ago. So we had a little bit of pullback this week in the semiconductors. No big deal at all. Just looks like a pullback within an uptrend. Closed right around that 20-day moving average, but here you can still see we've got a clear higher highs and higher lows. I think that the lows from this week are going to be important going forward. So about 36.75 next week. If we break below there and stay below there for maybe a half hour or more, then I think you would want to be a little bit concerned. But I think the buyers will start to wrestle back control, and probably above this level is what would convince me. Above 37.40, that's where I would consider getting long these semiconductors, and then you set your stop underneath a higher low, which might be right here, or hopefully it runs up, pulls back to maybe 37.20, and then makes that higher high. That's the way I prefer to see the breakout. But we do still have, you can see that this trend line is getting tested more often, and it broke late in the day. Breaking the trend line doesn't mean it's going to reverse, but it is one of the early indicators that there could be a reversal of this short-term downtrend at hand. So semiconductors continue to act good. They were due for a rest. That's what they got. No reason to look any further into that pressure. The IWM, the Russell 2000, we saw a little bit of a pullback here as well this week, down to the rising 50-day moving average. And again, we always want to give the benefit of the doubt to the buyers as long as it's above that rising 50-day moving average. And it did find support there, rallied back up to what's been the middle of this range. And that range really, you could call $81 to $83 a share. So here we are at $81.75. It's stuck range bound, like I said, but short term, the buyers did take back control above $81.50. Now I think that you're likely to see the potential for resistance up at at the $82.50 level, then 83. Above 83, that's where the buyers would take control. I'll be back this weekend with another video that has some stock trading ideas for Monday. Meanwhile, have a great weekend.